Hi everyone, welcome to your Module 3 overview video. This video itself will also be fairly short, just like last week's. Where we're going to be diving into identification of gifted in Clark County. This is part 1 in Module 3. Module 4 is going to be our next in-residence session where you will see part 2 of that. So just a quick review of last week for Module 2, we looked at measurement theory. So you had a few pages to review in your Solving the Assessment Puzzle textbook. Really, that was just a lot of terminology. You've also got a presentation there that kind of summarizes it. I created a video for measurement theory that talked about just a little bit more about reliability, validity, norms, and percentiles, kind of just the skimmed version of what you need to know. And those resource chapters from Salkind are there if you need more, of that. For Module 3, for this intro to identification in Clark County, you've got a few things, but you have really 2 weeks to do them if you consider working over the holiday week, although I don't want you to. So feel free to complete this a little sooner than November 26th and turn in before you go out of town or rest with your family. But you are to... you're really just to familiarize yourself with the Georgia Resource Manual for Gifted Education Services. So that's just a PDF manual that the state puts out that's online. So, I mean, you can read it if you want to, but it's a manual. So just familiarize yourself with where things are, look at the table of contents, look through some of the requirements and or procedures for certain things. And then you're going to review the Georgia's Resource Manual for Gifted Education and Mock Scenarios presentation. So it's like a two-part presentation where the first part is looking at the Georgia Resource Manual, and then the second part is now taking that information. Here are some mock scenarios. Would this child be eligible given these measurement scores or these assessment scores and so on? And part of your assignment this week is to complete the eligibility mock scenario reflection. It's 15 points. And you'll see when you open up that presentation, I asked you to go ahead and open up this document because you're going to sort of reflect on this document as you proceed through that presentation, and I'll show you that in just a moment. And then you are going to submit one question for Siri. She's going to be guest speaking during our Module 4 in-residence session, where she's going to be just presenting a little bit more about the identification process that Clark County has and some of the gifted program services that Clark County offers. And so here I'm just gathering questions that can help, that I will send to her. She didn't request them, but I'll send them to her just to let her know that these are some of your specific curiosities or questions regarding Clark County that may help in targeting her presentation. And I realize my face has been over that Georgia Resource Manual for Gifted Education Services this whole time. I'm going to hop out of this for a moment and direct you to that website. So this Georgia Resource Manual, I think it's like 34 pages, but again, just read over it and make sure you know where things are, because that's going to help you during your presentation. The presentation, this is your reflection. You're going to be asked to open up this reflection document, in which case you're going to review part 1 and part 2 here on this document. Now, in this, in the presentation that you're going to review, it's really kind of some true-false questions about the Georgia Resource Manual or some of the procedures. So when you go through those questions, record your initial response. Later on, you'll see the slide with the correct answers. So it's okay if you get them wrong. These aren't graded or anything. It's just to go with your best bet after reviewing the manual and then look back to see what the correct answer is, and then any reflection, thoughts, or insights you have on your response. And then same thing for the mock eligibility scenarios. I gave you 4 scenarios. Go ahead and put what your initial response is before later seeing what the correct response is. Again, it doesn't matter if you get them right or wrong. Hopefully you get them right. But this material, the questions that you have there are questions that mimic and or very similar to questions that you are going to see on your final exam. So make sure that you have bookmarked that presentation. And this reflection document, by submitting it, kind of shows me or proves that you have reviewed that resource and are therefore prepared for your final exam. The question for Siri is a link on the website. It's just to a Google form where you're just typing in your one question. You can type more questions if you want. And then you can put your name if you would like to. It's optional. You are welcome for that to be anonymous. And so back to our overview presentation. Yep, I did that. That's what your document looks like for your reflection. And make sure, for just so some of you folks are new, because this is going to be due on the 26th, all you need to do is make sure that it is in your Course 2 folder, labeled as such. Usually at the top of each document, I'll tell you how to label it. Last name, first name, underscore, eligibility, mock scenario, reflection. Make sure it's in your Course 2 folder, and that's where I will go and look at it. Module 4 is in residence. Yes, we'll be starting the identification, but we're also going to be starting your partner interpretation project. Just reiterating that your presence in Module 4 on December 3rd is going to be super important to completing that project. If not, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to get you some of that material, as some of that material is going to be case files that I'm pretty sure you are not allowed to take home with you because they're going to be property of the Clark County District Office. So you'll have to kind of work with them in person there in session, and then turn them back into me so I can turn them back into Siri. That is it. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week and a great holiday break. You are welcome to, just so you know, I mean, I hope you always know this, but you're welcome to, if holiday break means holiday work week for you and you're like super excited about that, because sometimes that's what I get excited when I have like time to get other stuff done. You're welcome to work ahead in this course if that makes sense for you. So I'm pretty sure everything is up that needs to be up. Nothing is really changing from here on out. So you're welcome to get any readings and or assignments done. You won't be able to work on the interpretation project because you have to get that in person. But other than that, feel free to review any of that ahead of time. If you have any questions, send me an email, and I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week.